When I think about the franchise that is Call of Duty and how it has many different types of trailers over the years for each game that has come out, there is one game, in my opinion, that I have found that in my eyes has the best trailers. This is not to do with the general marketing of the game, but simply the best main trailers that the game came out with in terms of its campaign, multiplayer, and other modes like Extinction in the case of the game that we are talking about today. Also, let's include the live action trailer as well in there. This is a fun and different kind of video that I wanted to make. I'd be really curious to know how you, the COD community, and just gamers in general feel about this franchise in terms of every trailer that it has given us. As a marketing student, this is one that hits home for me, so I'm going to do my best to break it down for you all as somebody who studies this stuff, but has also made his own fan-made stuff in the past as well. So let's talk about it then. The game that I have chosen to discuss with regards to which one I believe has the best trailers that really spoke to communicating the story of the game and how much fun it was going to be is going to be Call of Duty Ghosts. As crazy as it is to say, this is probably the title that you all were not expecting me to talk about, since for one, it is not even my favorite game of the franchise, and two, I guarantee you many people out there will have a disagreement with me on this in terms of, say, looking at a game like Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3, for example, that might have had better trailers than this one. In terms of quality, the game itself is also not really looked upon that well, but again, that's not what we are here to discuss. We are simply here to discuss the idea that I believe that this game had the better trailers of any game in the franchise before it did eventually come out. To jump right into it, let's get underway with the very first one, and honestly, it's one that I have a feeling not a lot of people remember that much, but it's an idea to me that is so intrinsically genius that I could watch it on repeat all the time. It is a trailer called Masked Warriors, and it was categorized as the teaser reveal before the major official reveal of the game weeks later in May of that year. It is basically a live action showcase of all these different soldiers and warrior types, showcasing what they were like and how they looked, and one of the main ideas of the trailer is how they wear masks and hide behind them, and how that is a symbol for how they act and what they do. That is, of course, one of the main components of the game, as you know from the story and the campaign. Obviously, that is also the title of the game to coincide with it. Knowing Call of Duty and what the game is about, it is a trailer that makes so much sense, but it is also so uniquely cool for a teaser concept. Really good trailer here, and it's very well shot from a videography perspective, and honestly, I wish we saw more of this kind of stuff nowadays. Not saying it has to be completely similar to this, but it has to be along the vein of it. The next trailer, of course, as I alluded to, is now the major reveal trailer that showcased the actual game at the end of May of that year. I truly do not want to overreact when I say this, but in some cases I can't help myself, because when I say that this is one of the best trailers in gaming that I have ever seen, I do really mean that. This reveal trailer is so good. From the beat of the piano leading up to the score brewing to the climax of the trailer, to the narration, to the scenes that are presented through the storytelling, it is all really good. Of course, all this footage is mainly from the campaign point of view, but usually that is how it works with regards to reveal trailers for Call of Duty. They tend to show off the campaign, and then single player does get its own trailer, and then multiplayer and whatever the third mode is also get theirs. I just love how the trailer communicates that inside of the game there is something big to come, and even though the trailer does feel very old school, I still think that old school feeling works very well. The narration is top tier as well, as it just lays out everything that the game is about and links this up with really cool scenes and shots from the story. That is something you really got to hone in on for a reveal trailer, and I think that this one nailed it. Speaking of single player, that is now the next trailer that we are going to be talking about. Again, very good trailer here, and basically to summarize the points, it is basically everything that I said with the reveal trailer. Good narration, great music, and just awesome use of storytelling and showcase of all the scenes that they put into it. The thing I can say that is best about this trailer more than anything is that it is truly epic. It gives you that tone and vibe every single second. It is also just such a very well edited trailer to give off that feeling, and so I applaud the editor or editors who worked on it. That very last portion at the end, right after the character Hesh gives his monologue about his father, and the music just engulfs you with emotion and happiness, and then to end off in such a badass way of showcasing all these scenes is pure awesome. Again, like the other trailers, I could watch this one forever. It is trailers like this that I feel need us to be taking inspiration from way more. To be able to understand the tone of the game and then find good music, find good narration, and then find a way to edit the scenes well to where you can create a narrative around it with this game's story, it's going to make it look for a very good trailer. So again, if you all haven't done so already, do watch this trailer. If you haven't before in the past, you will not be regretting that decision. To be able to understand the tone of the game and then find good music and then also find good narration and then a way to edit the scenes well to where you can create a narrative around what this game's story is going to be, that is how you make great trailers. To move on to another great trailer with that in mind, it is now time to move over to the multiplayer trailer. Again, this one is fantastic here, although I will give it one gripe, and that is the fact that the actual gameplay footage is slowed down, and whether that was a stylistic choice or not, I think they probably could have done better by speeding it up a little bit more. Other than that, the rest of the trailer is pretty good. I like the use of Eminem with his song Survival, and it helps to set a fun tone for the trailer. Even though the gameplay is slowed down, it all looks very cool still, and I like how the trailer harps on showcasing new stuff, as this is usually what people like to see. And again, the sequences that trailers like this go to in order to help create scenes like the gas station explosion at the end are all really nice and make sense because that's stuff that really did happen back in the day in this game. On top of that, speaking of that ending, this was also the very first time in the history of the franchise that the game showcased that you have the ability to play as a woman. To be honest, I don't remember what the reaction was at the time, but I can imagine it was probably very positive, with some people probably being a little bit sarcastic and negative about it. I personally think it's cool, especially since the game did offer the ability to customize your soldier. People would certainly get mad about that nowadays for really stupid reasons, but you know what, it's whatever, honestly. Of course, with every Call of Duty comes a third mode, and in the case of Ghost, it had the newest mode to the franchise in Extinction, which followed an objective-based type mode that dealt with fighting off aliens. Now, admittedly, I'll say this, the trailer is probably the lesser of the ones that I'm going to be talking about in this video, but it's still good. The trailer takes pride in allowing itself to be action-packed and also tense. Considering what the actual mode is like, all of that makes sense in context with this trailer, especially if you've played a ton of Extinction like I have. It doesn't matter if it's the story mode or it's the chaos survival mode. I like the use of the shots here to showcase the scenery, and in the trailer it does a good job to set up what the point of the mode is, especially since at the time this was something so new to people based on the enemy types. COD at this point had already done objective-based modes with the likes of Spec Ops in the Modern Warfare series, but aliens? That's a whole different story for players at that time. Personally, I think this trailer did a decent job setting it up, and it's got a cool ending with everybody running for the helicopter with the more advanced cryptids, as they are called in the game, behind them, like the rhinos and the hunters. The logo itself is also genius when it ends, turning the Ghost logo into the cryptid face of the alien. That's pretty cool stuff, you gotta give it that. The last trailer I wanted to talk about is the live action trailer that Call of Duty does every year, and Ghosts has a pretty decent one. This was also back in the day when their live action trailers actually had a story to them and weren't some contrived and overly clever on-the-nose bit that is not funny like we get now. If anybody has watched the live action trailers that we've gotten with the recent games, you'll understand what I mean. It doesn't matter if it's the Squad Up one for Modern Warfare 2 2022, or if it's the Lobby one with Modern Warfare 3 2023, or even to that extent also some of the smaller live action spots that we got with Modern Warfare 2 2022, where they brought in all these celebrities and influencers to do these 30-second spots that were basically done to try and get a funny laugh out of you, but again, these were just very poor and you could really tell what they were trying to do, and it just did not work. Anyways, to get back to the point, I really love this trailer because for one, it's a live action trailer that accepts it for what it is, in the sense that it actually goes for the fun and the action. Again, this is something completely missing from the live action trailers we get from COD nowadays. Show off the game and don't try to be clever. That is what the Ghosts live action trailer does. It just takes you into the game and showcases what it's going to be like. Again, this trailer mainly focuses on the campaign aspects of it, but still, when you include in the fact that the visuals are just spectacular, and also the use of Frank Sinatra's "I'm Gonna Live Until I Die" is awesome, and I love me some good Frank Sinatra every now and then. Again, that's the spirit of what makes this trailer good. It's just pure fun. The cast of guys that we do follow in this trailer is interesting because it seems that the live action trailers that Call of Duty has always put out have either showcased people who are not well known, or they do showcase A-list celebrities and influencers. The only one this trailer trailer has is Megan Fox, and at the time when this game came out, she was pretty popular, but the 4 dudes here are just random guys who I've never seen before, and that kind of pertains to the tagline at the end about there being a soldier in all of us. It doesn't matter if you are somebody who's well known or not. As sort of to get into my final thoughts here with this video, Call of Duty. For the love of God, learn from this, make your live action trailers like this, stop doing all this overly clever and on the nose crap that you do now, and also stop doing all these celebrity cameos that you put into some of your smaller spots that literally don't do anything. That's not going to sell your game. You want to know how you sell your game through your marketing and your trailers? You make them fun and you make them cool. That is what Call of Duty was brought up upon. Yes, there are other areas that make Call of Duty great than it just being fun, but overall, when you want to sell a game, that is the part that you want to hone in on the most. After all, video games are meant to be fun experiences, and so if you market the part that you know is going to get people to buy that experience, then that's what you gotta do here. When you look at examples like this one from Call of Duty Ghosts. Again, Ghosts I know is not recollected as the greatest Call of Duty game quality-wise, but in general, I find that it has some of the strongest marketing and trailers in the entire franchise. Overall, my goal with this video was to kind of break it all down from a marketing perspective, as again, I am somebody who studies this stuff, so I hope you all enjoyed my take on this. If you did, then please be sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you are new here to this channel, and turn on the notification bell. Comment down below all your thoughts on my opinions here, and let me know if you believe that there is another game that had better trailers than this one in this franchise, and we'll have a discussion about it. I hope everyone here has a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you all soon for another video. This is Orion, signing out.